Hi, this is Liam from Global Media Networks with Business Roundup for the day. The cabinet spokesman Kaheli Rambukwala yesterday became the latest to join the select group of officials to hint at where the rupee was heading, saying the exchange rate will stabilize around 125 rupees to 127 rupees. New measures taken by the Sri Lanka Customs and the National Gem and Jewellery Authority starting this week slashes out formalities, giving an impetus drive for the gem and jewellery sector. The senior banker Kedar Masiri yesterday has assumed office as the new general manager of the Bank of Ceylon. And oil prices near $100 a barrel are still a threat to the slowing global economy that is likely to consume less fuel than International Energy Agency had forecasted. Now, the IEA's executive director said this on Tuesday. Single Finance plc is going for a 645.3 million rupee rights issue for 11 shares of the 20 held at 11 rupees each. We see that the country's insurance industry grew by 18.5% in 2011 in terms of total gross written premium, which released 78.5 billion during the year from 66.2 billion rupees the previous year. Now, the industry's watchdog, the Insurance Board of Sri Lanka, announced yesterday. After spending $7 million for the Commonwealth Games bid, which Sri Lanka lost to Gold Coast, Australia last year, the country yet again bids for another sporting event scheduled to be held in 2017 as it doggedly pursues its goal for building a vibrant sports economy. We see that vehicle transshipment from Sri Lanka is getting underway, with Asia's second largest automaking group starting to use a new port in the south of the island, where up to 4 vessels are expected to call each month, the logistics firm stated. We see Cyprus Leisure will cease trade on the 14th of June 2012, being the market day immediately preceding the commencement of the excise period. Now, these foreigners are entitled to exchange with an equal number of ordinary shares of the company at 30 rupees per share during the exercise period commencing 15th of June to 30th of June 2012. We see despite the market suffering a near 3% dip, the Bandhan Sansa Development Bank fared well while its commercial leasing drew activity, though losing value. Now, Sansa, which saw its share trades for the first time yesterday, that was the 5th of June 2012, though listed on main board last week, 31st of May 2012, opened at 375 rupees whilst touching a high of 770 rupees and a low of 360 rupees before closing at 125 rupees, unchanged from its preference price. Only 204 shares of Sansa traded. Now, yesterday's Bandhan's commercial leasing with a reference price of 5 rupees saw a number of large trades with a cumulative volume of 3.75 million shares changing hands. Now, it started at 5 rupees 30 cents, which was also its highest, and closed at 3 rupees, down by 2 rupees. We see the shareholders of Galadari unanimously has approved an ordinary resolution pertaining to the serious loss of capital of the company at the extraordinary general meeting of the company, which held on the 29th of May 2012, whereas it has been misinterpreted in the papers on the 3rd June 2012, stating that EGM was for the conversion of the loan obtained by the company from the Galadari brothers to equity. Further, Galadari Hotels has informed on the 4th of October 2011 decision pertaining to affecting the proposed conversion of debt to equity. However, the said conversion has been deferred until the relevant approvals from the Securities and Exchange Commission of Sri Lanka and the Department of Exchange Control and the Central Bank of Sri Lanka are obtained. Moving on to more news, we see that the Commonwealth Business Council has cancelled a session of the Diamond Jubilee Commonwealth Economic Forum, which was expected to be addressed by the Sri Lankan President Mahinda Rajapaksa. The President Rajapaksa was expected to address this forum this morning at the Mansion House in London. After careful consideration, the morning sessions of the forum on Wednesday, that is today, the 6th of June, have been cancelled and will not take place. Now, the event will therefore commence with lunch at 1 o'clock, followed by the originally planned afternoon sessions beginning at 2 o'clock, said the Commonwealth Business Council in its website. Now, there is a very interesting article about a 26-year-old from Sri Lanka named Lanka has been successful in designing a fully electric turbo car. Now, the youngster, an entrepreneur, a technologist by profession, designed this vehicle, which he has called Lanka. Lanka has been built at a cost of 3 million rupees, Sri Lankan rupees. The car is likely to be seen not only in local but even in international markets. Now, the car is totally environment friendly and has been devised, constructed and commissioned by Lanka alone, out of 60% of the materials which are available in the local markets. The car is economical both where purchase and running costs are concerned, and is a showcase of Lanka's love for nature, and it is 100% eco-friendly. Now, Lanka was interviewed at his residence, and he told us that Lanka would be reasonably priced with low running costs. Now, the car should be an instant hit across the globe. Normally, 4-seater cars are priced at around 1.4 million Sri Lankan rupees in Sri Lanka, while the Lanka would only cost 600,000 Sri Lankan rupees once it goes into production. Now, cost per kilometer would approximately be 3 Sri Lankan rupees as against the other cars which cost 11 Sri Lankan rupees according to Lanka. And lastly, we see that the Sri Lankan government has commenced developing infrastructure to set up a massive industrial zones in the north within an year, a government official stated. The Northern Province Governor Major General G.A. Chandrasevi has said that the development of infrastructure for industrial zones in Achuveli Jaffna, Kinnochi Mana, Baunia has already begun. Now, the industrial zones established as a result of the government-private sector partnership are open for any local or foreign company to set up their business in any of the zones. Now, Achuveli Industrial Estate, the first industrial zone in the former war zone, has attracted 52 investors, the government says. Now, the few multinational companies operating in Sri Lanka have begun development work at their sites in industrial zones, and they will soon include garment factories and food processing centers, Chandrasevi stated. Now, the government said one company has begun training 1,000 new recruits from the area to commence production once the construction of the facility is completed. The Parandan Salton will also be restarted to produce salt within a short period. With that, I round up the news for today. Thank you very much for listening, and see you again tomorrow.